son came home with a drawing and showed me this strange-looking woman flying around. I said, "What is it?" He said, "It's Lucy in the sky with diamonds." And I thought, that's beautiful. I immediately wrote a song about it.
Super excited, super hyped. It's been a hot minute, so it's good to be back in the game.
Excited and hyped to get started with the Bluecoats for my first season since the pandemic. Woo! So excited!
It's my first year with the Bluecoats. I'm super excited to be here. Can't wait to put a show on the field.
And welcome to our 2021 Moving in Blue Telethon. We're really excited to be moved into our spring training home at Indiana Wesleyan University. Today has been a very busy day.
It has been. Our operations and medical teams welcomed our performers onto the campus, verified everyone's pre-arrival COVID-19 tests, checked vaccination records, and got everyone safely settled into their dorm rooms.
Right now, our performers are starting their very first sectional block of the 2021 season. We can't wait to show you more of that in the coming days, but today we're coming to you live from the Philippe Performing Arts Center at the beautiful IWU campus. My name is Liz Clayton, and I'm here this evening with Melody Gao. Today we're going to give you an inside look at what's been going on since we moved in, chat with our 2021 drum majors, and connect with our CEO Mike Scott and CFO COO Genevieve Geisler.
While you're following along with us tonight, there are 3 main ways you can support the Bluecoats: becoming a sustaining member of the Shield, donating to our Feed Blue campaign, or making a one-time donation.
Sustaining members of our monthly giving community, the Shield, are our most ardent supporters. They give month in and month out, allowing us to continue creating life-changing performing arts programming for young people. Your monthly donation will directly support our programming and invest in the future of Bluecoats.
Another way to give is by helping to feed the Bluecoats. This summer, we'll serve nearly 40,000 hot meals. Our food service may look a little different with most of our meals being served through catering services, but we can still use your help in making this possible. At bluecoats.com/feedblue, you can select a meal to sponsor and leave a special message. As a thank you, we'll post a special shout out on social media.
And, of course, you can always leave a one-time donation at bluecoats.com/give. Your donations will directly support Bluecoats programming and keep the Bluecoats experience alive for all these incredible young people moving in today.
Thank you so much for your support. Next up, we're going to take a peek at the check-in process and hear from our 2021 drum majors.
And make sure you stick around to watch some iconic Bluecoats shows, hear from Bluecoats' CEO Mike Scott and CFO COO Genevieve Geisler, and celebrate the return of the Bluecoats this summer.
Drum corps means to me competing at the highest level with the best friends that you'll make for life.
Drum corps to me really means pushing myself, both mentally and physically, and really achieving the greatest things that I can and being able to put on such an amazing production with great staff and great other performers, and it's a really fun time, and I really just want to see what we can create as a group.
And to me, drum corps is a real special place just because you step into this world where everyone shares the same common interest, and it is really special and cool, and it feels good to be surrounded by that all the time.
And what drum corps means to me this year is just showing how resilient the activity is, and just coming back and getting back on the field and being as strong as ever.
And what it means to me this year is a physical wake-up call and a social wake-up call.
And what the Bluecoats and drum corps means to me is just an escape from everything else and just a way to focus on music and being around people that I love.
I started marching drum corps when I was 16 years old, so to me, drum corps has been growth and self-love and self-discovery and finding my family outside of my own family.
And this is my second year with the Bluecoats. What drum corps means to me is it's a place where I can be myself with all my friends and just have fun, good time.
Honestly, just like an amazing activity. You know, you build this bond with everybody that you're marching with, and there's a competitiveness to it that just kind of makes everybody just super excited, and like, you know, the friendships and the family that you make throughout the season are just unreal and just amazing. So yeah, that's what drum corps means to me.
Hello everyone, so I am here now with David Davenport and Nick Kniper, our 2021 drum majors.
Hello.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Awesome. So after a year away from drum corps, how does it feel to be back with the Bluecoats?
Oh, it's felt wonderful. Like after having been in our COVID life for so long, it's really great being back. It's almost normal again, and seeing all of our friends and family. It's a wonderful time.
Yeah, it's been a pretty amazing experience just to see people that I haven't seen. I mean, in a year and a half, like I'm hugging people for the first time that I've only seen on a screen for so long, and just knowing that we're about to do something so special this summer, it's just really amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely been really cool seeing everybody and being back where things are happening. You know, seeing everybody move in and move into the dorms at Indiana Wesleyan has just been really amazing, and I'm excited to see everybody and see everything come together. You know, with that being said, what is something that you're most looking forward to this season?
Honestly, what I'm most looking forward to is just getting to put on a show for all of our fans. I know that I, as a fan of drum corps as well as a performer, I miss just being able to see the shows happening. So I'm excited just to be able to put that on for all of our fans this summer.
Yeah, same for me. I'm super excited to just be able to perform for people again, and seeing the members just doing the thing they love. It's an inspiring thing to see, and I'm just looking forward to be able to see all of you guys out in the audience.
And of course, on top of you being back and being excited for the show, this is you're both the drum majors. So what are your plans as drum majors for this summer? Do you have any new traditions? Are you going to wake up the drum corps in a certain way? Do you have any plans?
Well, it's really nice that we're being catered, so we get to sleep in hotels and stuff. So things are going to work a little differently. But in terms of just our goals are just to make sure the drum corps can run, and we're there for the members and trying to do our best to give the best experience that our members can have.
Yeah, and I mean, none of us have done drum corps in a pandemic, and so I really think my main goal is to just roll with the punches and figure out how to, deal with all these weird things that we have to deal with in this particularly unique season.
Right, and this unique season is, of course, both of your age outs. So are you excited? Are you sad? How do you feel?
Yeah, I've kind of been dreading, but also I've been incredibly excited for this season after a long run. It's bittersweet to finally come to the end here, but mostly I'm just trying to stay focused on enjoying being here in the moment every day.
Yeah, it's definitely bittersweet, and I feel very fortunate to be able to get to do this when I know other friends and other corps don't have the opportunity to be able to perform, and just being able to be here this summer and get to march my age out is an amazing, amazing thing.
So you are on your way out. Do you have any advice for people who are on their way in? Do you have any advice for people who are looking to join the Bluecoats for the first time, maybe next year or in a couple of years?
Oh, definitely. first thing I would say is just come out to a camp, see what it's like to be engulfed in the Bluecoats experience, just so you know what you can work on, because you will leave the camp better than you came in, and you'll also know, like, you'll get great feedback from staff, and you'll get to meet awesome, great members, vets, or new people who are joining. But I definitely just take the first steps of just going out and just practice, know your basics, and I think you'll have a good starting point at least.
Yeah, and that's also the really the best advice that I can give. Just taking that first step, it can be so intimidating and scary for the first time to, especially if you've never ever done drum corps before, but there's so many great opportunities, and I think so many people just choose to cut themselves before they ever even make it to the first camp, which is, I mean, it's such a shame. We want as many people to come to for the Bluecoats experience as possible, so just showing up is really the most important thing.
Definitely, and I think, coming out to Bluecoats camps, you get to learn from Bluecoats educators, right? So you get to learn exactly from the people who, would be teaching you. Another great way to start that learning process is by going to the Bluecoats School of the Arts. So if you go on there are a few courses, there are some replays that you can look at and start to learn in that way. So that's another great way. And then I guess we're done, but what are you excited about? Like, is there like a show you're excited about, like a specific moment?
Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, I think the thing right now that I'm most excited for is that very first moment of hearing the whole horn line all playing full out for the first time in so long. There's just, that's that feeling of being just surrounded by sound like that is really indescribable, and that's kind of the only thing that's on my mind right now, is just being so excited for that moment.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Being in front of the brass line and hearing that full, very impactful sound is going to be amazing. And then for me, full ensemble, our first full ensemble block, when all the sections are together for one rehearsal for the first time, everyone's just watching their faces, everyone's just like inspired, and like the adrenaline starts going because they hear each other just being able to perform and playing and doing what they love, and they're just feeding the energy in that ensemble is just crazy, especially the first one, and it's something that is just unforgettable.
Awesome. I definitely agree. I think everybody at home probably can too. Everybody's waiting for that first big impact moment, that first big moment. It's been a really long break, so we're excited to get back here. Thank you both so much for joining me. I'm sure you have to get back to rehearsal, but thanks for taking some time out to join me today.
Thank you, Liz.
Thanks, Liz.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bluecoats!
You'll understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hand.
education. I hope you enjoy hearing some of the key moments from these incredible conversations. Awesome. So, Melody, we're all moved into spring training now. How are you feeling? This is your first time here on the media team.
I'm very excited. I also did marching band in high school. It's been a while, but it's the feeling of being immersed in all of this again. The music, the color guard, the creativity is something that I've missed a lot. And so coming from the outside back in, it's so exciting to be a part of the marching world again.
Oh, I definitely agree. It's been a while for me too. I aged out in 2019, but now I'm back and it's super exciting to be here. And I'm really excited to see, Nick and David were talking earlier about how they're excited for things to come back onto the field and they're excited for ensemble, and that's something I'm super excited for too. It's gonna be great to see everything happening there and seeing everything come together. We're going to head next into our 2014 video from Tilt, so I hope you enjoy that show.
Performing their 2014 program, Tilt. Davenport International is the Bluecoats.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of David Glasgow, the Bluecoats.
As you probably know, on Tuesday we announced our 2021 show, Lucy. We're so excited to get back on the field this summer after a very long intermission. We'll do a roundtable here, but is there a specific moment that you're most excited about when coming back to in-person drum corps? So not necessarily like something in the show, but maybe like the first warm-up or the first ensemble, something you're really looking forward to when we come back. We'll start with Jim. Yeah.
I just want to be in the gym with my people again. Like, that's the most exciting thing, is being in the gym with my friends, with all the new students, and just doing this thing together again.
One of my years at Bluecoats, I got a memory that, it was the first full run through ish of the show under a night ensemble, under the lights in that stadium, of that first time that you kind of realize what this thing is going to be, both as, from a staff perspective and a member perspective, and just that feeling that gives you of, oh my gosh, this is really cool, and I can't wait for other people to see it.
I'm so excited for those members that are joining us for the first time to be able to be a part of the Bluecoats that have wanted to be here, or, we're like, maybe let me just see if this can happen, and it's going to happen for them. I'm so excited for those first year or maybe rook out members to be a part of something, and undoubtedly it's going to be so special and unique. There's no doubt about that, but I'm just so excited for the future of the Bluecoats to experience this for the first time.
We play so many variant styles of music in the same show that, everybody focuses more on the technical side, but really, going from playing this beautiful ballad to playing multiple tongue, like Bob said, to all these other things. I think that's what makes us, uniquely special in the activity. And, everything from having tubas playing pedals to trumpets playing, all these super high notes. It's just, everything you expect to see from the Bluecoats is what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'm excited about just the whole thing. Just all of it, even the mundane things like our first staff meeting when everybody's together and you realize that you have 30 people that are moving at 100 miles an hour, and we get through so much information in a short period of time. Walking through our campus and hearing sectionals is going to be awesome. And man, I'm jazzed for our first ensemble when we get to play some of this stuff.
Mike, I guess specifically for you, what does this season look like for Bluecoats? It's obviously shortened, but what does it look like?
Yeah, I'm glad Dean mentioned the
the program and our approach to, making the drum corps look, like it always has, and approaching this from the same artistic and excellence levels that we have. But we all know that the season is going to be shorter. So starting with what we know, and that's the tour, we're leaving on August 1st. We're going to do 2 concert events here in Canton, Ohio. We actually have an exciting announcement planned for that first event, our opener, so to speak, on August 1st. We'll have some more information on that, so stay tuned.
First of all, just the thing I would say very candidly to the folks when, we're generically saying, well, it's Act 2. Well, what does that mean? And what is this Lucy? Obviously, the whole idea is in the trailer, which is John Lennon's kid, Julian, came home one day and showed him a cool piece of art, and he thought that was awesome, and he wrote a tune about it because he was John Lennon. And that's kind of where we ran with, like that, just that as a premise. And so if you look back at 2019, and it doesn't matter if we can meet you wherever. So if you've never seen 2019, you're going to be in great shape coming to the show. Thank you, Beatles. But if you have the 2019 context, I would say that I thought we were, as fans, so beautifully introduced to Sgt. Pepper, to Eleanor Rigby, to the beautiful Blackbird, to all of that. And all of those characters were something, including some of the soloists that we connected with musically. And we're going to see a lot of those soloists are going to be characters we reconnect with. And Act 2 is simply an opportunity for us to close the door, as we did on what you saw there with Sgt. Pepper, and open a new door and experience a program and an act in 10, 12 minutes of your life through Lucy's kaleidoscope eyes.
Just to walk through in a 30,000 foot view, like the beginning of the show is just front ensemble, has some of the echoes of 2019, not the same material, but it has echoes some of that, and it's a great opportunity for them to kind of introduce the show, allow things to get kind of rolling that way. In part 2 of the show, there's more of a kind of conceptual, like Lucy driven, Lucy in the Sky driven kind of moment that's really about the composite of all the parts of the ensemble, the percussion ensemble together that kind of drives that and is kind of a programmatic moment driven by character and sound and texture, that way. The third part of the show, which we'll probably talk about a little bit later, we mentioned the first thing, is about a large kind of, or large, in pageantry terms, it's a lot of time. It's a healthy chunk that's just about the snares and kind of exploring some electronic effects and things, and kind of just using an economy of voices and the snare voice, but a lot of different electronic effects, unique sounds and that kind of thing, and trying to introduce some of the On the Walrus material. There's some things in the introduction to I Am the Walrus percussively that we're really excited about trying, electronically and a little bit trippier sounding, I think, stuff that we're experimenting with that kind of fits the overall vibe of the show, and is certainly very different than, Act 1. And I think I have another one too. I really looking forward to seeing how Golden Slumbers and Carry That Weight will turn out. It's such powerful, engaging, and just music, and it has such a great, everything's great. It's emotional. Like when I listen to the original, listen to it on, in Sibelius, I can only imagine what it's gonna be like on the field.
I think one of the cool things about this team is everything we do is an experiment. A lot of the things that we do in terms of designing shows and kind of working on this is trying to find things that people haven't tried before, or finding different ways of doing it. And so, yes, usually in a normal year, we would be able to experiment a little bit more. I recall at, some March, April camps, taking speakers outside and trying things, just to see if they would work before we commit, a bunch of energy to it. So this year's a little bit more of a leap of faith, a little bit, but overall, I think we're confident in the things that we can do.
I put together some designs for a special character. So we, as you may recall, 2 years ago, we had special characters all over the field, costumed in black and white. The Sgt. Pepper kind of look, and there was during Blackbird, there was the kind of feathers and all that sort of thing. So this year Lucy is really kind of the main thrust behind the characters, and so I worked on a special costume for this character, and we want to make him or her as sort of brilliant and kaleidoscopic and diamond-like as possible.
Very inspired by the lyrics of Lucy. The marmalade skies, the kaleidoscope eyes, the cellophane flowers of yellow and green. So between the set and the flags, they all reference that imagery. And then you'll have to wait and see how it's all drawn, cut, and pasted up.
We were talking though about kind of summarizing how it feels for the season to come back, and a couple people mentioned that at Bluecoats, it's kind of all about the creativity and being yourself, and that's all incredible. And this year is a special year for us to be able to do that, because it's not a competitive year. It's a year for us just to kind of be the truest form of that, which I'm really excited about. We've wanted to design this show all along. This was the show that we were designing for 2020, but now the show kind of is its truest self because it's not competitive. It's Act 2, and it's all about celebrating everything that we love about 2019, but also everything we love about the Bluecoats organization. The expression and the wonder that comes through everyone being themselves and being creative, and this being about our experiences as participants and staff and audience members and community members. And a lot of that is going to kind of shine through in this show, which I think is really special given how difficult the last year has been. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited about the first time that Lucy kind of starts to take shape on the field when we're all together and not in little Zoom screens. That's going to be really great, and we're going to be bringing that to everybody through live things like this, and hopefully in some shows that you all can come to for those 2 weeks that we're out on the road.
Liz, thank
Thank
you,
you,
Liz.
Liz.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See everybody soon.
See you soon. Love you lots.
Awesome. I hope you enjoyed all those great moments from the Introducing Lucy videos. It was so much fun to be able to chat with everybody live on those conversations. I know Mike was able to be there for quite a few of them, which was great. Now I'm here with Mike Scott, who is the Bluecoats CEO.
Hi, everybody. Applause for me, apparently. I'm really excited to be here, Liz. This is really exciting. I kind of had a vision for spring training this year where we would bring people in, and Introducing Lucy was an opportunity for us to do that kind of leading up to spring training. And now this telethon is kind of the next step of that, where we get to kind of bring people in, which is unusual for us at spring training. Normally we're secluded and we have a secret show, and we work on the show in kind of an environment where we can feel safe to create and kind of let the show become what it needs to be. But this year, given that we're only on tour for 2 weeks, Introducing Lucy was a really cool series once a week to kind of introduce the design team, introduce key members of our educational team, but also then to kind of work towards today and moving in blue and starting to put the show on the field in a new way where we can bring it to all of the incredible members of the Bluecoats community that have not been able to see the Bluecoats for so long.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be able to do more live content like this. We're going to be coming live from rehearsals and things like that, so you can all tune in and enjoy those things even if you're not living in Marion, Indiana. So that's super exciting this year. Being able to share more of that content, and not only that live content, but also more more video content in general, more like sounds from what's going on here in a way that we don't normally get to share that. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, it's new for us, right? For a variety of reasons, we, like I mentioned, we keep things kind of secret for our own purposes, but also the world changed a lot in the last year, and it's easier to do stuff like this. It's easier to bring the Bluecoats to people at home. So we're kind of working to do that, and it will also, allow for people that normally would go see us in Oklahoma or go see us in Texas or go see us all over the country when we do our 10,000-mile tour. Now, at least, you'll be able to see us here while we're at spring training and while we're developing the show, and through other live elements like when Flow Marching brings shows like the Akron show to the public. So that's exciting. But for now, this is kind of a new thing where we can bring people in, and we hope people are enjoying it, and we hope you tell your friends and more people engage with us as we make this a new reality for us.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be really awesome to be able to connect with you all and during the Introducing Lucy videos, we were able to field a lot of questions too, which is an opportunity we don't normally have. We don't have people at home being able to ask our designers questions. So that was a really great opportunity. And we're hoping to bring more of that kind of educational content along with these things that we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So the telethon is a lot of things, right? It's bringing the show, all these cool shows that we're bringing, and we recapped Introducing Lucy. We'd also, though, we're celebrating the start of our season, and it's been kind of a monumental task. Liz, you've been behind the scenes as we've done this over the last 6 months, really diving in and making this a monumental task to get the Bluecoats back on the field, to get drum corps back out into the world. So a part of tonight is also fundraising, of course. We need support from the Bluecoats community, from the broader drum corps community, to help make this a reality for all of us. And every year, one of the most popular ways that people choose to support the Bluecoats organization is becoming a monthly donor, which at Bluecoats is called becoming a member of the Shield. The Shield is a monthly giving society. People give automatically each and every month. Some people give $5, some people give $200 a month, and they support us month to month in a way that allows us to rely on those funds as regular income. We know that it's a way to give. So a great way to give tonight is by joining the Shield. It's popular every year at the beginning of the season because people like to get more engaged, and all members of the Shield join a private Facebook group called the Shield Community, where we will post information about what it is we're doing behind the scenes at a higher level than what it is we're posting and doing with live streams and things. So we're excited to kind of re-up that and re-engage that Facebook group. So if you are looking for a way to support the Bluecoats organization and looking for a way that sort of is the most compelling and ardent way to support us, then the Shield is certainly an option.
Another option that we do have is, of course, our Feed Blue campaign. So every year, we serve a whole lot of hot meals to all of our participants, our volunteers, our staff. This year we'll be serving 40,000 of those hot meals. Things are looking a little bit different this year. We're offering things through catering services here at IWU, but we could still use your support in making sure that we can make all these meals possible. So, if you head over to bluecoats.com/feedblue, it really just takes a few clicks for you to pick a date. You can add a special message in too. So if it's, if it's somebody's birthday in the corps or something like that and you want to celebrate, you can add in a little message in there, and then we'll post a shout out to you on social media, and we'll include that on a little whiteboard by the truck so everybody knows what's going on. So that's another great way.
Feed Blue is popular every year because people, you feel so connected to the organization when you supply a meal, so to speak. And we always do a great job of acknowledging those, and people love to see their name show up on social media when they see what meal they supplied. So like you mentioned, this year food service is a lot more complicated really than it is usually. We're engaging with IWU as a contractor, and we're supplying meals here in the dining hall, and the kids are loving it so far. I'm loving it. It's probably going to be a bad thing ultimately. We're not used to having a soda fountain at all the meals, nice. Which we're of course discouraging the performers from using, but I'm sure the staff are going to be enjoying it. But either way, Feed Blue is a way to re-engage. It's a way to get sort of activate your support of the Bluecoats organization in a very direct way. And even though we're not using the food truck nearly as much as we usually do, it's still a way to kind of engage in that way. And it's a cool way to celebrate someone's birthday too, if you have someone that has a July or August birthday as well.
And then, of course, the last way that, or one of another ways that you can give is just by doing a one-time donation. So you can always make a donation really of any size at bluecoats.com/give. And that allows you to, customize that to whatever works for you. And that is going to directly help support Bluecoats programming so that we can continue to, do things like this and create these life-changing experiences for all the young people who are involved in our programs.
Totally. So head on over to bluecoats.com/give. You can give in any of those ways. We're super grateful for the support. It's been a monumental challenge getting the Bluecoats back. Here we are, we're moving in blue, and we're so excited to be back and to have your support.
Awesome. And then one other thing happens today, other than us moving in blue.
And it's a big one.
Other than the telethon.
Yep.
Akron tickets are on sale.
So for the first time since the cancellation of the 2020 season, Bluecoats is selling tickets to an event. So we're really, really excited about that. We're back at the beautiful InfoCision Stadium in Akron at the University of Akron. It's like the perfect stadium for drum corps. It's a big home side. It's like the great angle. Bluecoats love it. It's been a long-term home for us for rehearsals and shows. shows. So we're bringing the DCI Celebration Akron to that stadium on August the 9th, Monday, August the 9th. It's actually, we're lucky, even though the tour changed all this crazy amount, it's still the same day that it always is. So Monday, August 9th, and you can buy tickets right now. You go over to bluecoats.com/Akron. It'll take you right there to the ticket purchase website. And I have a feeling the show is going to be popular. It's at full capacity. We're working really hard to put the event on in a safe way, and we're just really excited to finally have the Bluecoats performing in Northeast Ohio for the first time since 2019.
And that one's always a super fun show for that exact reason. You know, it's kind of our home show. We have so many people, so many alumni come to that, so many fans. It's just a really great experience to be able to be there and be a part of that community.
Totally. Well, I mean, you marched recently. Like, you know how it is. We play Autumn Leaves and the Boxer, and everybody comes down, and all the alumni come, and it's such a cool night. We always like secretly schedule an extra hour to get out because we know, like, we tell everybody we're going to leave at midnight, but everybody on the Bluecoats team knows, okay, we're not leaving till 1. And we just know that because the alumni come by, and it's such a great moment for the Bluecoats community. And that's just one of those moments that we lose, you know, when we canceled the season. And so it's really cool to have it back. It'll look a lot different. We're not allowing backstage visitors and things like that to keep the performers safe. But we know that the Bluecoats community will be back. The alumni community will be back. It's going to be a super cool night, I think.
I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
So we're going to head in now to watch 2016 show Downside
Cool.
Up, which is a good one, of course.
Yes.
So we'll do that next, but thank you all for joining us tonight.
Performing their 2016 program, Downside Up. Drum Corps International is proud to present the Bluecoats.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of David Glasgow, the Bluecoats.
Wow, another iconic Bluecoat show. It's been really great getting to revisit all of these tonight.
I've really enjoyed it too. After a very long intermission, it's great to be celebrating the return of the Bluecoats. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in with us so far tonight to celebrate along with us.
If you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets to come see the Bluecoats in Akron. You'll also get to watch Rhythm and Blue, Columbus Saints, Music City, Spirit of Atlanta, the Cadets, and Boston Crusaders at this incredible show. I know our performers are already eager to get back on the field in front of a crowd yelling "Blue" at them.
And I can't wait to be one of those people cheering on the Bluecoats.
Honestly, me neither. So far tonight, you know, this has been really exciting. We've got to talk to a lot of different people. We've got to talk to drum majors, people from our executive leadership. It's been really great. And of course, every dollar that you donate helps us to continue creating life-changing performance opportunities for young people in the organization.
If you're able to, please continue to make a donation over the next 2 days, and on Saturday night, we'll share an update on how much money we were able to raise with your help.
Along with that update, make sure you follow along with us on social media for lots more exciting content. And, you know, as we mentioned earlier before, we do plan to live stream some of our rehearsals here at IWU, and I know that's a question a lot of you have been asking. You'll get to see more spring training content than you normally get access to, and we really can't wait to let you into our little bubble virtually.
Next, we'll be giving you a quick glimpse into the Moving in Blue process.
excited to be here. Can't wait to get to work.
All right, so we just got a little bit of a glimpse into the check-in process. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it's, we've been waiting for this day for a long time, and of course we thought a lot about it, and it's been, the last 2 days really, have been pretty jam-packed with all sorts of stuff, whether it's testing or the check-in process or getting all of our stuff that's been strewn all over and in storage for all this time and all in. It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's been an interesting process. I've been dealing with Bluecoats spring training for quite some time now. And, well, this is a really great reminder of how things used to be and the same. It's also a lot of new stuff and a few new hats for those of us doing registration to wear, as well as we add in extra layers of safety for our students and staff with COVID testing, verification, on-site COVID testing, and vaccine verification for all of our students. So, we added that in. We added that step. It took a little longer. We spread it over 2 days. We managed to find almost all of our stuff and get it unpacked. And, we're rehearsing right now. It's pretty incredible, actually. It's almost surreal.
Yeah, it's been crazy. And we've asked a lot of people to, to put on more hats, so to speak. And the medical team has just been incredible. It's actually a lot of new members of the medical team, in addition to our lead athletic trainer, Ebony. And they're working hard doing more than just the testing. They're also looking at everyone's files and having sort of pre-participation discussions and having discussions about people that need to address, their physical wellness as they go. And then also handling testing for, everyone that's sort of in the initial testing phase here while we're moving in. Plus, like Jen mentioned, verifying vaccine cards and, oh, hey, you've got 3 more days till you're fully vaccinated. We're going to make sure you wear a mask and all those little details. And it's been a lot, but they've done a really incredible job. And I think we've all everyone collectively has felt just really great about how we've been able to A, restart the drum corps after a whole year off, but B, restart it in a way that feels really, really safe.
So now we have just about everybody has moved in now. They've gone through all that check-in process. They're doing that. What are the plans for the next 4 weeks while we're here at Indiana Wesleyan?
Well, we plan to make a Bluecoat show.
That's a good start.
But beyond that, we plan to, you know what? It's sort of like the check-in process. It's going to be a pretty interesting mix of really, oh my gosh, this is just like normal. We're doing everything normal. We're staging, we're learning drill, we're learning music, we're creating a show. It's going to be just like normal. But then there's those few things that are different.
Yeah.
First of all, it's July. And
Yeah.
okay, but we're still calling it spring training because we're old dogs, and we can't learn new tricks. But second of all, we're going to have to be keeping up with all of our coronavirus protocols and all of our health and wellness procedures, and of course, our testing pools and that kind of thing, just to make extra sure that we are as safe as possible and that we can be, like we told the students at our check-in or at our initial meeting tonight, just be the best Bluecoats we can be and just focus on that normal stuff. These type of extra measures are what's going to allow us to have the most focus on normal life and being what we hope is a pretty incredible Bluecoats production this summer.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about how our focus this year really just needs to be on all the great parts of the Bluecoats experience that we cherish in a competitive season. Commitment to artistry and the Bluecoats experience and the experience of the performer and individual expression and all of those things that I think people really love about the Bluecoats, both what we do artistically, but also the experience of being in the core. And so we've talked about how if there's ever a year to lean into that, this is the year to lean into that, because this is all about just bringing drum corps back, having a great time, and bringing it back for our performers and for our audiences next month. And so we're working hard on that. We're really excited for that. And like we talked about earlier, Liz, it's also an opportunity to do what we're doing now, and that is to kind of open this up. And we're in the PPAC Theater here that we're turning into a studio that we're going to be using for all sorts of cool live stream and other performance opportunities that will continue to showcase that individual expression and that opportunity for us just to focus on the experience and artistry this year while we're not competing and while we're just working hard to bring drum corps back.
So, and then you talked a little bit about, what that's going to look like after this. We're bringing it back. We're excited to start performing again at the end of this month. We're here until August 1st is when we leave. So what's that going to look like?
Well, I think the cool thing about the start of this season is that we are going to kind of have a premiere in Canton, which we don't really ever get to do. So the Bluecoats, we're waking up on August 1st. We're driving straight to a hotel in downtown Canton. We're going to move into the hotel, and the kids are going to walk downtown. There's this beautiful new amphitheater in downtown Canton, and it's Centennial Plaza, and we're going to launch a brand new event called Bluecoats Party in the Plaza. It's kind of an afternoon-long festival. We've got some local music acts. The Canton Symphony Orchestra's coming. The Enrichment Drumline, which is a really cool urban youth drumline that we have partnered with for many years, is going to perform. And then the headliner, of course, is the Bluecoats. So we're excited about that event. And then the next day, we will rehearse and do another local concert in Gervasi. And then we're off to the races. We're going on tour, headed to Boston.
Of the jam-packed, honestly, schedule for and it's a short amount of time, but it's actually a lot of performances in a row. So I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's Boston for 3 days, and it's going to be a little bit grueling, especially since we haven't done it.
I know the students are going to be so excited, but I think the staff is going to be equally, if not more excited to just get out there and do what most of us have been doing our whole adult life for work. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. And it's those 3 Boston shows, and then a rehearsal in Allentown, followed by the usual Saturday night in Allentown, which is going to be great at J. Bernie Crum. And then the show that we talked about. We're coming all the way back, hauling from Allentown all the way back to Ohio for a night in Akron for the DCI Celebration Akron. That's going to be a super cool event.
Yep, and then, we actually also have our final show before the what would be championships. The celebration is going to be right here in Marion. It's actually going to be right back at our kind of pseudo home here in Marion, which I think would be a pretty neat experience for the students.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. It's a 2-week performance tour, right? But we're really only gone through that Tuesday of the DCI Celebration Week, and we're coming right back to this facility. Bluecoats will rehearse here, and then that evening, Tuesday night, we're performing here in the stadium that we're used to designing our show in, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, we'll head to Indianapolis at Lucas Oil for the 3 nights of the DCI Celebration on, the 12th, 13th, 14th. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It is. Totally. Yeah, it's going to be surreal. Like, we're going to walk into Lucas Oil on Thursday night, and it's just going to be like, oh, here we are. We're back. Like nothing, and it'll be easy maybe to forget how much of a struggle that has been, but how cool that, for our performers and for the audience just to be back in Lucas Oil and to get to experience drum corps again. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I think it'll be an even more, inspiring reward for everyone's hard work, because it's been 2 years of hard work, and it's been, pretty rough, for a lot of people. So I think this will be, but, for performers and staff and fans, I think it'll be, pretty intensely rewarding, I hope. So.
Totally. Drum corps brings joy. That's why we do it. And so it's going to be cool all throughout this process and all throughout the tour. It's going to be great.
We talked a little bit about the struggle there. We did have a whole year off. We had that. We're coming back after that, which is one of the things we talked about a little bit earlier tonight is like the different ways that people can support the Bluecoats. So do you want to talk about a little bit about that, those 3, things?
Yeah, sure. So there's several ways to give. And Feed Blue is one that actually, after we talked last, a number of people made a Feed Blue donation because it's always a popular one. Like Liz mentioned, it's about 40,000 meals if each individual meal throughout the course of this summer. That's always a really popular one.
And then of course, you can also join the Shield, and you can also, which is always, the gift that keeps on giving for us. Of course, every year we always joke, but like when we get to like certain times of year when we don't have a lot of revenue coming in, we're like, oh, Shield time. We're like, like food on the table. It's like a paycheck, So that's pretty awesome. And of course, you can buy a ticket to one of our events, especially Akron, of course, where that's our own show there with that we're partnering with DCI on. But buying a ticket to any event supports not only the Bluecoats, but DCI and the entire activity and bringing the marching arts back. So I think anything that you can do to, donate or purchase a T-shirt or purchase, a ticket is something that's giving back to not just the Bluecoats, but the entire activity. And I think that's a pretty neat collective thing for all of us to do that absolutely love drum corps.
Yeah, absolutely. And Akron went on sale today. We talked about that. So it's on sale right now. You can go to bluecoats.com/Akron. Of course, it's at the DCI website as well. But last we checked, tickets were actually selling quite a bit. So yeah, so people are buying up that show. We're really excited. So go buy your tickets to Akron. We also mentioned Party in the Plaza, and I think it's important to mention that is a free event. So if you want a way to see the Bluecoats this summer in concert, it'll be a standstill in Canton, Ohio. Then come to Party in the Plaza. There's details about that event at partyintheplaza.org. And I personally am excited about the event. It's like the perfect venue for drum corps. We're going to have, food trucks and people there, and it'll be really the first time the public, outside of people here at IWU, will see the Bluecoats all the way since August of 2019. So it's going to be kind of a monumental night and a big party for us, and we're excited for that. So that's at partyintheplaza.org.
Yeah, that's going to be very neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just drove by there for my first time the other day, and it was super exciting. It looks like Centennial Plaza looks like it's going to be really exciting. I can see how it's all going to come to life already, even though nothing's there yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely going to be a really cool event.
Yeah, so the lawn, like the event lawn of the plaza, is shaped like a football, because it's the plaza is in commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the NFL, and so but. Coincidentally, that means that the stage is a big drum corps arc. It's like built for the Bluecoats, the stages. So we're excited to put the drum corps in a big old arc and have Canton rally around us, and it's going to be great.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for coming out here tonight, and thanks everyone for joining us as well. This is the end of our telethon, but this is not, of course, the end of what you'll be hearing from Bluecoats. We'll be
100%
coming to you live more, and we'll be, sharing lots of content. So make sure you're staying up to date on all of our social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also on our website. All the information that we're talking about tonight is also on there. So if you're looking for anything, you can find it right there at bluecoats.com.
And TikTok.
And TikTok.
Follow us
yes,
on TikTok.
Sorry about that. We're also on TikTok.
Well, thanks, Liz. This event has been really great. I'm really excited.
Yes,
this is a great way.
Much. Great job. Thank you.
Great way to kick this off.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you soon.
See you
Bye.
soon.
Bye.
My son came home with a drawing and showed me this strange-looking woman flying around. I said, "What is it?" He said, "It's Lucy in the sky with diamonds." And I thought, that's beautiful. I immediately wrote a song about it.